Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Glamour. I'm your host Key Michel and welcome back to the show. So what is going on, everyone? I'm very happy to be back here with you all for another episode. And I also hope that everyone is having a great day thus far as well as a great weekend. Now, before I dive into the topic for today, I wanted to just thank everyone that reached out to share how the episode prior really resonated with them. You all stated how two particular pointers that I was discussing in the episode prior really stood out to you all the most. And I want to really elaborate on them. One of the pointers was about losing friends. I discussed that last week, as well as people not understanding that greatness takes time. And regarding the losing friends aspect, I want to let you all know that when I was talking about that last week, I was coming from a place where I had already healed from the situation. When it happened, I was feeling some type of way. I was. And I want to mention this because I was under the impression that when people were reaching out to me and they were thanking me for talking about that, I feel like people were under the impression that I did not feel some type of way initially. And I said, you know what? No, you need to let people know that you were feeling some type of way. But although I was feeling some type of way at first, the reason why I was able to get over the situation so fast is because I realized that when you complain, you remain. And I knew I could not complain about the situation. I knew I could not sit there and be upset and be like, oh, why did this happen? Why is this going on? I was such a great friend to this person. I knew I could not do that. I knew that would really be something that would just waste time. And I understood that when you complain, you remain. And I also realized that, I had to just practice gratitude for the memories I had, for the learning experience, and as well as continuing to think abundantly about friendship, right? So, what I want to also say is that, if you're someone that is on your journey towards success, I don't want you to listen to that episode and think that this is something that might happen to you as well. I know that some people could resonate with that, and they're like, I have experienced that as well, but I don't want everyone that tunes in to think that, okay, this might happen to me, and then now y'all looking at your friends like, are you about to switch up? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? I don't want y'all to have that energy towards your friends. You actually might get closer to your friends. You might not experience losing any friends at all, and I much rather you all experience that as well. But if you do, it's a learning experience, and you do realize that along your journey towards success, if this does happen to you, that everyone that you think might be there might not be there, right? And that's okay. It's a learning experience, and I have a lot of faith that I am going to meet a lot more people that are going to be in my life for the long haul. I know that, we tend to think about people being in our lives for a long time, but some people, especially when it comes to friends, sometimes it can be for a season. The season may be decades, but it can still be for a season, right? So I wanted to just let you all know that I was feeling some type of way at first because I felt like people were thinking that it was something that I just, moved on from right away. It took probably a few days to move on from. But I was able to move on from it very quickly due to the fact that I realized that when you complain, you remain. And I realized that I had to learn from the situation and just grow from it. And I think that's why it promoted such rapid and great growth, is because I realized, I really need to just learn from this, and that when you complain, you definitely remain. So I wanted to be really honest with you all about that, because I was feeling like people were thinking that it was a piece of cake for me at first. And no, I was definitely feeling some type of way. So I want to be honest about that and clear as well. Regarding greatness taking time, what I want to say about that is, as long as you understand that greatness takes time, that's all that matters. You know, there's people around you still might not get that. They still might think, "All right, I want you to succeed right away. I want to see the success right away, right?" But you, as long as you understand that greatness takes time, that is all that matters. Just continue to give yourself a lot of grace along the way, because a lot of us can be really hard on ourselves. I know that I'm someone, in the past, I could be really hard on myself in the past, and I had to say to myself, you know what, you got to stop this. You got to celebrate those small wins along with those big wins. Oftentimes we celebrate the big wins and we neglect the small wins, but the small wins are building up to the big wins, right? So always remember that, greatness takes time. But even if other people don't realize that, as long as you know that, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. So just wanted to state a few more points and just elaborate on those pointers as well. But yeah, I really appreciate you all always reaching out and letting me know how the episodes really empower you all and really inspire you all. That is definitely one of the missions with the show. So I am always immensely grateful that you all also feel really comfortable to do that. I really am. So I want to thank you all as well. And let's dive into the topic for today. This week we're going to be discussing a fashion topic. This is where we're going to be diving in. It came to me and I said, yeah, we got to discuss this. We definitely have to discuss this topic. So today we are discussing why fashion police are unnecessary. And now this is my opinion, but I do believe that my opinion is going to awaken you all to why, fashion police could be really unnecessary. I really do believe that they can be really unnecessary in the fashion industry. And I actually wrote down 3 reasons why. I'm going to state those reasons and just elaborate on each of them. But, I think that fashion is a form of art. And I believe that everybody should be able to express themselves however they want to express themselves with fashion. I think that critiquing somebody else's style or making fun of somebody else's style isn't right. It isn't right. I think that everybody should be able to express themselves. Everybody should be able to find their own personal style and embark on their own style journey. This is my own belief. So I want to start off by diving in to the first reason why I think that fashion police are unnecessary. So number 1, criticizing someone's style doesn't make your style look any better, nor does it make someone look like a style expert. So anytime somebody starts to criticize someone else's style, it only makes people look back at that person and start to critique their personal style. And this can actually, this can go for anything in life. Like if I see someone start to bash somebody else's relationship, bash somebody else's body, bash somebody else's, looks, it only makes me look at their character. And I think that's just how it can be in life. Like when people put that energy out, it only comes back to them. So when we have people critiquing somebody else's personal style, that energy is only coming back to them. And what's interesting is that I observe that a lot of people that do this, they're not people that have their own personal style yet. It's oftentimes people that don't have their own personal style yet that will critique somebody else's personal style. You rarely see people that have their own personal style and are embracing their own personal style that will come out now and start bashing somebody else for dressing how they want to dress. Because I think people that have their own personal style understand how liberating it is to be able to express yourself and to express your own individuality with fashion. So why would we come out now and start to bash somebody else for doing that? It just is a weird thing to do. So I noticed that oftentimes the critiquing comes from people that don't have their own personal style at all. They don't have their own personal style. They haven't embarked on their style journey yet, but they are quick to bash somebody else's personal style. And like I said, when you put that energy out, it only comes back to you. It doesn't make you look like a style expert at all. It only makes people start to look at your personal style and look at the style you may have or the style you may not have, right? So that's why I think fashion, the first reason I think that fashion police is really unnecessary, because it's like, okay, you're critiquing somebody else's style, but it doesn't make you look like a style expert at all. It only makes people look at your personal style and look at the way you're dressing and start to critique how you look and how you dress. So that is indeed number one. Number two is people feel a sense of shame for dressing how they want to dress and for expressing who they are. So I was actually watching a YouTube interview with an Instagram influencer, and she was being interviewed just about her brand and about her up and coming businesses. And in the midst of the conversation, the interviewer stated, I see that you're really into fashion, and I see that a lot of people really like your style. And she ended up cutting him off and saying, well, no, like, people actually don't really like my style at all. Actually, a lot of people talk really bad about my personal style. They don't like my style at all, but I like the way I dress. And if I stop dressing how I dress, then I'm not staying true to myself. And I loved her answer because it was really, really honest. But I love the fact that she stated, if I stop dressing the way I want to dress, then I'm not staying true to myself. And a lot of people do not have that courage when it comes to personal style, because personal style is also really rare. It's very, very rare. A lot of people don't have their own personal style, which is why we see a lot of people coming out and complaining, oh, everybody is dressing the same. There's no individuality. Everybody is dressing the same. But when people jump out and want to express their individuality, we have fashion police critiquing how they want to dress and how they want to express themselves with their personal style. So it's almost like pick a side. Pick a side. Do you want people to express their individuality or not, right? So I loved her response. And, I think that, for a lot of people, it is hard for them to be able to jump out and say, this is me, due to feeling, are people going to talk about me? Are people going to bash my personal style? No one wants to feel any sense of embarrassment or shame. And of course, you have to have a lot of confidence, you have to have courage, and the burning desire to want to be yourself and express yourself when it comes to personal style. But if you're just embarking on your style journey, you might not have all those things, right? You might have the burning desire, but you might not have the confidence or the courage, right? So if somebody comes out and starts bashing the way you dress, you might hop back and say, you know what, let me go back to conforming. Let me go back to conforming and dressing how everybody is dressing, because I can't handle the shame. I can't handle the embarrassment. I can't handle people talking bad about me. I can't handle these fashion police. And, it's so interesting because, like I mentioned, we see a lot of people. I even stated this in the societal pressure to dress like everyone else episode, how a lot of people dress like everyone else because of the fact that they do not feel comfortable dressing how they want to dress, due to the fact that they feel like people are going to bash them for it. And we see a lot of people do that. People that are self-proclaimed fashion police, or people that have shows where they are the fashion police on those shows, right? So, I just think that if we want a world where people feel comfortable to express themselves with their personal style, or where we see a lot more individuality, then we need to be supportive. But in reality, society is not supportive when people decide to say, you know what, I'm not going to conform and I'm going to be myself. Society is not that supportive. I told you all countless times about my own style journey and how people talked about me when I first embarked on my own style journey. And I only mention that because I want people to understand that, listen, when you hop out and you decide to be yourself, society isn't always comfortable with that. Society isn't always going to accept you for saying, you know what, this is me and I don't care if anybody likes it or not. As much as people come out and say, everybody is dressing the same, there is a lack of individuality. A lot of people also do not embrace the individuality of others. So when we have fashion police bashing the way people express their own personality and their own inner being with their personal style, it can create a lot of shame, it can create a lot of embarrassment, and it can also make people jump back and say, you know what? Let me just conform. Let me just conform, because right now I don't feel confident enough to hop out and say this is me. I can't handle the shame. I can't handle the embarrassment. So let me just conform. Let me just conform. So that's unnecessary, right? Fashion police, it's like that is unnecessary. We want people to be able to express themselves with fashion. We really do. It's very liberating. But when we have fashion police bashing the way people dress, how can we promote that liberation? How? How can we promote people wanting to embrace their own individuality? How, right? So that is the second reason why I think, fashion police are so unnecessary in the industry. It creates a lot of shame for a lot of people. And I think that, we should really be supporting people when it comes to embracing or embarking on their own style journeys. It's a journey. It really is. Like, I can look back on some of the style choices I had, in my earlier days. And, I probably wouldn't wear some of those styles now. But I look back with a smile. I really do. Because I'm like, wow, this is really a journey. I was experimenting. I was learning. I was growing. I was having fun. And I think a lot of people should do the same thing. People should experiment. People should learn, and people should be able to have fun without fashion police bashing them for doing those things. So, that is the second reason. That is the second reason. And number 3, you all, it only cultivates negative energy and negative vibes. It only does. It really does. I follow this really well-known fashion media brand, and I'm not going to mention the name of the brand because I do have a lot of respect for this brand. But the brand will post pictures of different celebrities on their Instagram platform. And, under the comments section, a lot of people will be really, really, really mean. It's not quote unquote constructive criticism here. People are being really, really, really mean. And it just creates this negative atmosphere now. This negative vibe, this negative atmosphere, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know that I can tell that wasn't the mission, the overall mission that the brand had. I know that the brand wanted to just post content that would be engaging and also post content that would cultivate a magnetic community and an ever-growing community, right? But now you're starting to see that the more negative energy that people put out, it just continues to grow and grow and grow. You just see all these negative comments, and now you just continue to see negative comments more and more and more. And so how is that helpful? When people are just putting out negative energy, is negative energy ever helpful? No. It's low vibrational. It's low vibrational, right? And we have people in these comment sections being fashion police, but it's really low vibrational energy that they're putting out. It's not positive. It's definitely not any form of constructive criticism. It's really negative. So, I just think that when it comes to fashion, we have to allow people to express who they are. We really do. And I think people really need to understand that personal style is called personal style for a reason. It's personal. It's that person expressing their own personality. And so sometimes it may not resonate with you because that is not your personality. That is not your self-expression, and that is okay. That is okay. There's plenty of people, fashionistas that I absolutely love, right? I love the way they dress. I'm intrigued by the way they dress. But I would not necessarily wear what they wear. That doesn't mean that they can't dress. That doesn't mean that their style is bad. That means that they are expressing who they are. I am not them. They are not me. And that is the beauty of fashion. That is the beauty of individuality. And so when we have pages where, people are also comparing who wore it best, why can't we allow both of these people to shine? Why can't we allow both of these people to be able to express their own individuality? Why do we always have to have these comparison matches? When did fashion become that? So, I really think fashion police, I just think that is just so unnecessary. I really do. I really do. So unnecessary. And even when you think back to the show Fashion Police with Joan Rivers, there were people that liked Joan Rivers, but there were a lot of people that did not like the negative energy that she was putting out because it was negative vibes. Whether people thought it was funny, whether people thought it was funny shade, it was still negative energy. And at the end of the day, it's like people should be able to express themselves with their own personal style and express themselves with what they want to wear. And be able to experiment without people judging them for it. It's a journey, and people should be able to embark on their own style journey with grace. So, I definitely don't agree with fashion police at all. I really don't. But at the same time, I want to make it really clear that any episodes that I put out, I'm just here, like I said, to empower, inspire, share my own insight, share some advice. But I don't necessarily think that you all have to follow everything that I say. So what I'm really striving to say here is, if you are a fashion police and you are tuning into this episode right now and you're like, you know what, Key, I'm going to continue to be a fashion police. Well, then that's what you want to do. That is what you want to do, and that's okay, right? That is what you want to do. And the reason why it has to be okay is because I can't force you to change. I can only put out some insight, and put out some advice, but I can't force nobody to do what they don't want to do, right? But put yourself in the shoes, if you are a fashion police, put yourself in the shoes of the people that you are critiquing. You wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. You wouldn't want nobody to bash your own personal style. You wouldn't want nobody to bash your self-expression. You wouldn't want nobody to bash your individuality. You wouldn't want nobody to bash your own form of art. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. You would want people to allow you to be you, right? And to express yourself how you want to express yourself. So look at it in that way. If you are a self-proclaimed fashion police, look at it that way. I know you would not want anybody to bash your own personal style. You know, I know you wouldn't want that. I know you wouldn't want that. So I don't think, we need to be perfect in life, right? I don't think anybody is perfect, but I do think that when it comes to fashion, I think as an industry and as a society that it's important for people to be able to express themselves with their own personal style. It's fun and it's liberating, and I think that everybody deserves to feel that feeling. I truly do. And if we want more people to, express themselves with their individuality and to stop conforming, and if people are so tired of seeing everybody dressing the same, fashion police don't help. Fashion police definitely don't help at all. They actually just promote people to conform even more. So, I definitely wanted to share my insights on this topic because I see this a lot. People bashing other people's style. And I'm just like, let people wear what they want to wear. Let people express themselves. Let people do what they want to do. It's so interesting because even when it comes to Rihanna, I saw a lot of people, bashing Rihanna's maternity style. Yeah, there were some people that liked it, some people that were digging it, but there were a lot of people that were bashing it. And now we're starting to see a lot more women get really inspired by her maternity style. There's a lot of women that are starting to get really inspired by Rihanna's maternity style. So, we gotta let people do what they want to do, We gotta let people be able to express themselves. We really do. And I just think that bashing other people's personal style or making fun of people, it's unnecessary. I know that, some people, may say, well, no, I don't bash people's personal styles. I'm giving constructive criticism. But a lot of people do bash. A lot of people do bash and throw shade and make fun of people. And even if you're giving constructive criticism, it's like, why? That's their personal style. Let them experiment. Let them learn. Let them grow. Let them evolve. Let them evolve. If we want to live in a world where people are embracing who they are, we got to let people be who they are. We got to support people when it comes to them just expressing who they are with their personal style. So I really, really hope that this episode resonates with somebody out there today, because I know that many of the people that tune into Vintage Glamour have their own personal styles, and I know that you all, are stylish beings. I see y'all. I see you all, when you all reach out to me and, tell me how much you guys like the show. I know you all follow Kita Fashion and support Kita Fashion, so I see a lot of you all. But I also know that a lot of you all are still learning and, still gaining the courage to embark on your own style journey. And I love that. I really do. And I really am putting out this episode for you all the most, because I want you all to feel comfortable to jump out and say, you know what? No, I no longer want to conform. I want to express myself and be my true self. I want to express who I really am. So, people may talk, right? But if you have that burning desire, that confidence and that courage, you won't even care. You won't even care. Right? So if you've been thinking about, man, I've been tuning into Vintage Glamour, I've been listening to some of these episodes, and I think it's time for me to jump out and embark on my style journey, do it. Do it this summer and have a lot of fun, okay? Have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun. And if you run into some fashion police, don't worry about it, because like I mentioned in the first pointer, I have never met a fashion police that had their own personal style. I have never met a fashion police that was embarking on their own personal style. Okay? I don't think anybody that really is comfortable with who they are and how they are dressing is going to, waste their time to come out and bash somebody else. It just doesn't even make any sense. When you really love yourself and you love your personal style and you love that you are expressing your individuality, you're not going to take or waste, I should say, any time to bash somebody else for doing that. You're going to want to encourage others to do that because you know how liberating it feels to have your own personal style. So embark on your style journey, okay? Express who you are. You have my full support. Express who you are. Express who you are. So, like I said, I really hope that this episode resonates with somebody out there today. But before I wrap this episode up, I want to leave you all with a few announcements. So the first announcement is that there are new articles up on the website, and there are also new gems up on the website as well. Starting this week, June 30th, I will be putting out new gems, and I will be putting out new gems on a bi-weekly schedule, and I'm really excited about this. So I want to let you all know that in advance. I will continue to promote that, and I also want to thank everyone that has been supporting the vintage shop thus far. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really do. So that is the first announcement. The second announcement is that there are also new videos up on the YouTube channel, so definitely check out the YouTube channel. I have been posting a lot of videos up there. Shout out to the people that have been subscribing thus far, so definitely tune in to the YouTube channel and check out the episodes. I also put out Vintage Glamour, the audio form, on YouTube as well, so definitely check out the YouTube channel. I know that I mentioned to you all that I definitely want to make certain changes to Vintage Glamour, such as thinking of a jingle, which I'm still trying to think of a jingle for Vintage Glamour, and wanting to do more video content for Vintage Glamour as well. But I have a whole vision for it, and I think I've been stalling due to the vision, but I'm like, you know what, I think, even though I have to still work on that vision, the vision is taking some time, I do believe that I'm going to start back doing video content for Vintage Glamour as well. I just think it's great, and I know that a lot of people really enjoy the video content, so I want to be able to support people that enjoy audio as well as video form. So that is the second announcement, and this isn't really an announcement. I just want to say thank you to you all. I love the fact that you all tune in to Vintage Glamour every week. I really do. I really appreciate it. I always think of episodes that will make you all think, that will empower you all, and that will really inspire you all. I really want people to not only love their personal style, but to really search within more. That's why we do discuss lifestyle content a lot on the show as well. Because I really do believe that fashion and lifestyle go hand in hand. I really do. So, like I mentioned, if you are somebody that has really been thinking about embarking on your style journey, but you don't want people to talk about your style, still do it. It is so liberating. It is so, I'm telling you right now, it is so liberating. It really is. And, you know, don't worry about the fashion police. Just do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But, you know, I wanted to discuss my opinion on fashion police because I just think, you know, fashion police are really unnecessary in the fashion industry. And, you know, I don't think we should be here bashing people for how they dress or how they choose to express themselves. We need to let people be able to express themselves. Fashion is a form of art. You know, it's a form of art. Like when I go to the Museum of Fine Art in Boston, there's a whole lot of art, right? There's a whole lot of art there. But I'm not going to bash anybody's art at all. I'm just going to take it all in. Whether I understand it, whether I don't, I'm going to take it all in. I'm going to take it all in. This is somebody's self-expression. This is somebody's self-expression. And they had the courage and the burning desire to put that art out. So, step out. Show the world who you are with your personal style. Start to experiment this summer little by little. And you will be proud of yourself. I'm telling you, you will be proud of yourself. And for the ones that already have their own personal style, continue to upgrade your style. I actually put out a video on YouTube about upgrading your personal style. So definitely check that out. Definitely check out the YouTube content. I've been there a lot lately and I've been enjoying it. So definitely check out the YouTube content. But, you know, you all, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the feedback. I love that you all feel comfortable enough to be able to reach out and share your thoughts. I really love that. I truly do. So, as always, you all, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Vintage Glamour. And as always, I hope you all have a great one. Bye now.